Amanda Ensing, Gina Carano, and tons of other people are being canceled over and over and over because they're not allowed to do what they want. They're not free to speak their minds. Ted Cruz recently apologized, and mistakenly so, for going to a vacation to Cancun with his family, and he's being canceled by media. Welcome to Biden's world, everybody, where chaos reigns and confusion is the norm. Amanda Ensing was recently canceled a few weeks ago because she decided to wear a MAGA hat and Trump gear, and that ended her contract with Sephora. Gina Carano was let go by Disney for speaking her mind, because everything that we say now is racism, and everything we say now is misogynistic, and we have no freedom whatsoever to speak our minds. And that is what happens when you live in a world with subjective truth. So I want to ask you guys a question. If you truly have liberty, are you going to stand up? And are you going to take advantage of that liberty, or are you going to let other people silence you? One question I hear a lot is kids who are asking how they get through school when everybody is calling them a white supremacist, and should they even stand up? Should they even voice their opinion? You know that the African American, the Chinese, the Hispanic student who heard racist slurs against them would immediately report you, or report the person who used that racial slur, and they would claim civil rights. But yet white American students are expected to sit down and hold their tongues because they are white supremacists, and anyone who sides with them is a white supremacist. This is the world of confusion and chaos, ladies and gentlemen, where right is wrong and wrong is right, good is bad and bad is good. We no longer have free speech because although while we might not be arrested for our free speech, everybody will cancel us, we will lose all of our friends and family. And that is the America that we live in today. That is the America our children are growing up in today. And the question that I have for everybody is, what is the solution? When are we going to learn to stand up? I refuse, for one, to bow to the mob, and I refuse to lay down my liberty. I have rights, I have civil rights, and I can say whatever the heck I want to say. So I'm going to say whatever the heck I want to say. I'm going to preach my values, and I want to encourage you guys to do so as well. Because our time here is limited, and I don't want to die with regret. I have values and principles. Those values and principles are not extreme. They're actually normal. But because the left has pushed us so far, what used to be normal is now extreme. What used to be principled is now archaic. And this is the world we live in. Old people are obsolete. Wisdom is obsolete. Proverbs are obsolete. Principles are obsolete. This sort of reminds me of an episode on The Twilight Zone called The Obsolete Man, who read tons of books, and that was obsolete. That is now the world we live in today. Books are obsolete unless it's the books that they want you to read. Principles are obsolete unless it's their principles. Free thought? You should have forgotten that one. That's obsolete. The question is, how do we make them relevant again? We have to make them relevant by pushing back. We've let the left push us so far that we don't even know what's normal. We've let the left push us so far that transgenderism is a common topic of today, whereas 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it would have blown your mind. People would have said you're crazy. But no, it's a normal topic of conversation today because we want to please everybody and make everybody happy. The world is now running off feelings and emotions, and we see where that's leading. We live in a crazy world where homosexuality is praised, transgenderism is praised. You can marry a transition or marry your same sex, and it's all okay and it's all the same. We can educate children and tell them that orange is blue and red is green, and that's all okay because as long as you're happy, that is what matters. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a question. Are we going to let the left continue to do this, or are we going to actually make a stand? And what does making a stand look like? It means educating your own children if need be. It means standing up to big tech media. It means saying to those who want us to stop speaking, screw it, because I'm going to speak my mind just like you. But each one of us has to actually be able to stand up. We have to have courage. Otherwise, we will fail. Men are now women, women are now men. And when men stop being men and women take over men, and when men step down from leadership and they step down from the roles that they were created for, and women step into roles that they were not created for, our country, our society, and our world will crumble. Everything that is happening right now is a result of Marxism and leftism. It's a result of complete debauchery and abandonment of truth and values and principles. And we have to get back to those values and principles if we are going to last as a nation. Otherwise, we're going to crumble. And it's not going to look pretty. The question isn't, are we going to crumble? The question is, when? Time is ticking. So what are you going to do?